What up guys, Miguel here of Tech, and this is the Mi Note 10. This particular version is the China ROM variant, so it's actually called the Mi CC9 Pro. What makes this device so special is this main penta camera setup we have going on the rear. That's right, penta, as in 5 camera sensors for the main camera module. Specifically, this main sensor over here is a 100 megapixel quad Bayer sensor, and it's pretty good. If you want to know more about the CC9 Pro, stay tuned and find out. Starting off with design. Right off the bat, I want to say that the CC9 Pro has a great premium feel to it. Its aluminum frame is clad in glass from both the front and back. And to top it all off, they're layered with Corning Gorilla Glass 5 protection. With the phone in hand, gripping it feels great. I like how I don't get this uneasy feeling when I'm holding it without a case. So this is definitely a point to good ergonomics with the help of those 3D curved edges from both the front and back. It's also a plus that the buttons have good tactility and placement is great. I don't think anybody will have a hard time reaching the buttons on this device whether they have small or large hands. At the back, we can find the hero feature of this device, its cameras. The first 3 are stacked vertically and placed on the upper left corner. Under that main module, we can find the 2 sensors below it, and to the main module's right, we can find the dual-tone quad LED flash. Now, there is somewhat of a big bump from that main module, so even though I personally believe that this device doesn't necessarily need a case because of how nice it is to grip, you might want to consider slapping on a case to eliminate wobble from that camera bump. In front, we get a dot drop notch. In it resides a 32 megapixel sensor. Now, I must say, the front of the CC9 Pro is quite the looker. The bezels on the device are on the slim side, but still not the thinnest. I don't mind having a curved edge screen at all. It doesn't really bother me, so I guess I like it. For buttons and ports, starting at the top, we can find a noise-canceling mic for a loudspeaker, and per typical good guy Xiaomi fashion, an IR blaster. If you guys think that IR blasters should still be in smartphones today, let us know in the comment section below. Situated on the right is the volume rocker followed by the power button, and closer to the bottom of the right side is the dual SIM card tray, so no expandable storage on the CC9 Pro. Lastly, at the bottom we have a single downward firing speaker, main microphone, USB Type-C port, and a 3.5mm audio jack. Overall, I'm really digging the design and build of this device. It isn't the thinnest and lightest device, but the weight distribution is really good, and if making it a little bit more thick allows me to get that really good grip on this device, you won't hear me complaining. For display, the CC9 Pro features a 6.47-inch Full HD Plus AMOLED panel with a resolution of 2340 by 1080. Like I mentioned earlier, we get Corning Gorilla Glass 5 protection on top, and it does look amazing. Obviously, this isn't super or dynamic AMOLED, so if your device is rocking one of those panels and you're looking at this one, you might feel it isn't as vibrant. Though I must say, it isn't a bad panel. In fact, colors are vibrant enough for me, and blacks can be deeper, but I'm not really complaining. If it's anything about this panel I wish was a bit more, it'd be the brightness. Don't get me wrong, this display can go up to a brightness of 600 nits, and that's pretty good. It's just when it's 4 PM and you're standing somewhere the sun is beaming its rays at you full blast, I fear you guys might not have the most optimal brightness for that scenario. When it comes to media consumption, this panel is awesome. No complaints. Although for the audio coming from the single downward firing speaker, it can get pretty loud for a single speaker, not without its drawbacks though. At 80% to max volume, the sound can come off a little bit distorted, and of course, the soundstage from this one speaker isn't the most full. Lows are basically non-existent, but if mids and highs all day, air day is your thing, the CC9 Pro has got you covered. For hardware, under the hood, it sports a Qualcomm Snapdragon 730G chipset coupled with an Adreno 618 GPU. This device handled most tasks I threw at it with ease. Specifically, a lot of web surfing, some photo editing, and light gaming. For configurations, we actually bought our unit from Shondi, as this device still hasn't been officially launched in our local shores. Our unit is rocking 8GB of RAM and 128GB of internal storage. For software, we get Android 9 Pie skinned with MIUI 11.0.2 on top. Now, MIUI isn't our favorite skin here in the office, you guys have heard me say that before, but again, it's definitely not part of our bottom picks. The interface is clean, simple, and functionally customizable, though having the Chinese MIUI does take some getting used to when compared to the global version. With the CC9 Pro, we never really felt any slowdowns when it came to the usual browsing the web web and social media, multitasking between apps, and even general gaming. Though, for those of you interested in our benchmark scores, I'll have them flash on screen now. In terms of biometric security, this device gets fingerprint and face unlock. The fingerprint scanner is one of the latest generation optical in-display ones, and it's pretty quick. It takes about half a second to unlock the device, and I believe it can feel even faster if we speed up or disable the unlocking animation. The face unlock is also pretty quick. It unlocks the device around the same time the fingerprint scanner does, and that's that. For battery, the CC9 Pro gets a crazy 5260 mAh cell that supports 30-watt fast charging technology. It takes about an hour to charge this device with the included charger, and that might not sound like much, but if you take that milliamp-hour capacity into account, it's bonkers. In our standard video loop test, which entails the phone being in airplane mode, its brightness and volume at 50%, and with headphones plugged in, the CC9 Pro got us a total of 23 hours and 47 minutes of playback. With such a big battery, I easily got it to 2 days without charging with my normal personal use, which nowadays means a lot of media consumption and Call of Duty Mobile. Again, I'll say it a second time for this review, bonkers. Now for the CC9 Pro's crown jewel, the cameras. At the rear, you get a penta-camera setup composed of a quad-buyer 108-megapixel main shooter, a 12-megapixel telephoto which serves as the 2x, a 5-megapixel telephoto that serves as the 5x, a 20-megapixel ultra-wide, and a 2-megapixel dedicated macro sensor. And to top it all off, on the front-facing side of things, we get that 32-megapixel selfie shooter in the notch. So yeah, I'm getting really excited for these samples, so let's get into it. All these photos were taken on the default photo mode, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. Photos actually look quite faithful and natural, the post-processing isn't too aggressive most of the time, and a lot of details get preserved in these images. We even get the benefit of having some natural bokeh from that aperture. If it's anything about the post-processing of Xiaomi, it tends to boost the contrast, saturation, and sharpness, which again, I don't have much of a problem with. As for that 108-megapixel mode, truth be told, the image quality is pretty much the same from the default photo mode. I guess there's slightly more detail if we really look, but the biggest benefit from this mode is the ability to crop into parts of the image. Like, we can really zoom into parts of these photos, maybe to recompose an image, and details are still very well preserved. For the dedicated macro sensor, all of us here in the office had a blast with this thing. It's really good. Users can get crazy close to subjects, and it's just a fun little sensor to have. I don't think it's necessary, of course, and it isn't indicative of how great a phone is, but still, no hate here. For portrait mode, subject background separation is good, whether it be a person or figurine, though it still isn't perfect. But well, no one has really perfected these portrait cutouts in the first place, so that's fine. For portrait selfie, same comments as the rear. Subject background separation is good, but not perfect, even with harsh backlighting. For actual selfies, this thing is awesome. Even in low lighting conditions, images look very passable, and in good lighting conditions, images look clear and sharp. Not to mention, dynamic range is also really good. For night mode, this photo was taken on the default photo mode for reference. I wanted to see how it would fare in very poor lighting conditions indoors. This is with night mode on, and it doesn't look like it did much, and I wouldn't say it could see in the dark, but it is worth mentioning that the overexposed highlights in the background is now more evenly exposed in this mode. Next, we have a photo of a street corner, and once again, this is in the default photo mode. This is in night mode. Again, not much of a difference, but that light from the street lamp is slightly less clipped and overall shadows from the image have been pulled up. This is our last sample. Again, this is the reference photo, and I must say, this default photo mode has some real good low light capabilities. If I didn't know any better, I would have thought this was the night mode photo, so yeah, props to you, Xiaomi. This is the actual night mode shot, and it again has slightly improved the image. Highlights are now more balanced and shadows are pulled up, which makes the clouds in the sky more noticeable. Though to the top left of the image, we can see some artifacting, but this might just be a slight bug. But again, that's kind of weird, and I haven't really seen it in any other samples, so I guess this is a one-time thing. So keep that in mind. For video, the CC9 Pro can shoot up to 4K at 30 frames per second. Stabilization is good, but not perfect. We get this weird focus in, focus out thing happening every time I kind of move the device and kind of get it up close to a subject like I'm doing in this sample. But if that doesn't really matter to you, like hindi naman malikot yung kamay mo, details still look real good. Next, I have two samples playing right now, and that's because this phone gets a super steady mode similar to the one found on phones like the Galaxy S10. It uses the ultra-wide sensor for this. But as you can see, compared to the 60 sample, the super stabilization mode's image quality is much more poor. Like, these highlights are now overblown here, and I don't know. Not impressed. In conclusion, the Xiaomi Mi CC9 Pro or Mi Note 10, for those of you fortunate to already have the global version, is a great upper mid-range device. It's got a pretty impressive main quad Bayer camera sensor, good battery life, a great display, and a premium looking design and build. For those of you interested in where we purchased this unit, I think it's worth mentioning once again that we got this from a shop called Shandi for 26,200 pesos. But in my opinion, I would like to personally recommend you guys to wait for the global version of this device, so you don't have to go through all the trouble we had to go through when reviewing this particular model. So, are you guys thinking of copying a global Mi Note 10? Let us know in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to smack that like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hit that bell icon so you get notified of future uploads. Be sure to visit yukatech.com for the latest tech news and reviews. Again, this has been Miguel, and I'll see you in the next one.